there's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
I just feel so sorry for her.
You are underweight, aren't you, darling?
They can't continue to live like this.
Across the country are people who've dedicated their lives rushing to rescue any animal in trouble.
Oh, mate! Yeah, it's coming, it's coming. Right, go on, mate. Bye, friend.
And helping stamp out cruelty and neglect.
Hello, sunshine. That's not looking good. You can't stay here.
She's not going to kill the cow.
But how much commitment and sacrifice is needed to actually become an RSPCA inspector?
You've done so well to get here.
Now let's see how good this group really is.
Each year, the charity puts a new group through a comprehensive training regime.
Come in.
In this series, we're following the latest batch of trainees as they're pushed to the limit, hoping to pass the rigorous tests to qualify for the role.
But it's absolutely killed me inside.
They must endure a series of make-or-break physical tests.
Okay, I'm on this. I've got it.
Become experts on every aspect of animal welfare law.
If I had this much stress and anxiety with other jobs, I probably would have walked by now.
And learn to cope with the harsh realities of the job.
If you don't open the door, I will have to phone the police.
That's the first time that I've been, knocked for 6.
If they can't make the grade,
it is literally pass or fail.
Oh, God.
They'll be sent home.
It's really important that you get it right.
So, can these ordinary people
Have I got everybody?
survive an extraordinary year of training?
Don't let go. Oh my God, okay.
Under constant pressure, to seize the chance of a lifetime and land their dream job.
Yes!
Nice one.
Out of my comfort zone, I won't lie.
See you all at graduation.
It's autumn, and the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals is gearing up for one of the most important dates in its calendar, the arrival of this year's trainee inspectors. As a former inspector herself, course leader Edwina Daniels knows how difficult it is just getting this far.
We had over 4,000 people apply for this course, and that was for 25 places. So for those very few people that are selected, I think there's a huge amount of pressure to succeed.
With competition for places tougher than getting into Oxbridge, being picked as one of the chosen few is a real achievement. But it's only half the battle.
Starting the course doesn't automatically guarantee you a job as an inspector. It is very tough, but no matter how challenging, it's hugely rewarding, because it is wonderful, it's the best job.
The lucky 25 trainees come from all walks of life.
Oh.
And from all across the country. But they all share the same passion.
It's my boogaloo.
It's a cookie.
This is Roy, my big fluffy cat.
These hopefuls are taking a huge risk, having quit jobs or left uni to follow their dreams of becoming an inspector.
Well, then.
The students will be based here at the charity's headquarters, where they'll be living and working together 5 days a week.
It's literally like going back to school again. Right now I'm nervous because I've got no kind of experience of working with animals or anything like that.
I've applied for every inspector role that's came up, every trainee inspector role since being 18. So to eventually be here and actually be trained as an inspector, I'm over the moon.
Overwhelmed, eager to get questions answered. What's the hotel going to be like? Are we allowed to stay at the weekends? Is 20 pairs of socks enough?
Before hard work begins, it's important they all get to know each other.
Hopefully you've been chatting to each other, asking some questions. Grab a pen and just go around the room and jot down what you've learnt from the people you've been talking to.
Among the group is a former probation officer, estate agent, ex-police officer, and prison warden.
The students come from all sorts of different backgrounds. I think that mixture adds to a breadth of skills and knowledge that they can bring to this role. OK, so what we'd like you to do now is have a look at your own flip chart poster now. Is it true? I just want to know a little bit about you and why you're here. What's brought you here?
Got a boyfriend at home. He actually proposed to me on Saturday, so he's like my fiancé. But I don't like saying that's cringe, isn't it? But yeah, and I've got a dog as well. He's called Diddy, so I miss him a lot as well. Probably more than my boyfriend, actually.
I was previously a student. I studied applied animal science. I gave up my third year to be here, and I have a house rabbit who lives in my bedroom.
I did try 7 different outfits on before leaving the hotel. I just was like, I don't know what to wear, I want to make a good impression. So you'll see all the other 7 outfits.
With introductions over...
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Classes begin.
We spend a lot of time on this course making sure that you have the knowledge available to investigate properly. From a procedural point of view, it's really important that you get it right.
The new recruits are all here, hoping to graduate as inspectors and join the 340 already working throughout the country. The role involves rushing to the rescue of any animal in trouble.
Hello, sweetheart.
And if necessary, helping prosecute those breaking the laws that protect all animal species found in the UK.
There we go.
But for the students, being offered the post isn't a done deal.
So let's move on to the first topic, which is elements of an offence.
Essentially, it's a year-long job interview.
And it's important that you recognise and have the ability to know what evidence is.
Over the whole year, the exams and the assessed elements are relentless. It's constant pressure. If you don't pass, then you would be off the course.
Soon they'll be sent out to shadow tutors working on real-life rescues. So, to make sure they survive unscathed, they're getting a crucial lesson in staying safe on the job.
Very gently laying the loop over the horse's neck, OK? Normally we'd do it on something a little bigger.
An inspector for nearly 20 years, teacher Jason's speciality is large animal rescues.
This afternoon is to give you an idea of what kind of situations you might come across and how to keep yourself safe. That's the most important thing.
Each year, thousands of cases involve large animals in trouble. And the bigger the beast, the bigger the danger.
What's happening now? He's going in. Where's he going? Into the water, right next to the horse. Is that a good place to be? The end result, unfortunately, he had a broken leg and a broken pelvis. OK?
In 2017, the charity received more than 30,000 calls just about horses and rescued an average of 3 a day.
They'll pick up on whether you're scared, whether you're angry, whether you're excited. They will pick up on that, and all it will do is stress the animal out.
23-year-old Nat from Surrey is a former estate agent.
Where are you going? Come here.
But selling houses wasn't her first choice of career.
He's great. I've been interested in around animals literally since birth. What are you doing? My parents have always had dogs, so they've always just been an integral part of my life. Hey, good boy.
Nat has had a support role within the organisation, and despite her home being full of rescues, there's one animal she's dreading handling.
So I have a very slight fear of horses because when I was 5, I got trampled. My knee was quite badly hurt, but I don't think I've actually got back on the horse. Classic.
A 500-kilo horse kicking and rearing up, it's a risk. It's a risk to your life.
The job of an inspector contains quite a lot of high-risk situations.
The mantra that we work to as far as safety is self, team, casualty.
Horses kick, cows tread on your toes, dogs bite, cats scratch, you know, the list goes on and on.
The animal is the main hazard you're going to deal with. Don't forget that.
It's not all cute and fluffy, you know, sometimes animals don't want to be rescued.
With the lesson over, It's time for Nat and the other students to meet their tutors and hit the road.
That first period shadowing inspectors can be very emotional. They're starting to see the pressure that they might find themselves under, and there'll be some situations that will be hard to deal with as well, I think.
Well, there's no turning back now. It's the trainees' first chance to experience the job for real. They're working alongside qualified inspectors who'll be assessing their progress.
Good morning.
They have no idea what they're going to come across or how they'll react.
It's rubbing me.
Time for a deep breath.
My window's getting misty. Stop breathing. Thank you.
Right, so let's just get out of here first of all.
In Surrey, Nat has been paired up with tutor Rob Jackson, who's been an inspector for 17 years.
What do you think of the attributes you need?
You just need to be able to talk to people, don't you, really?
Is that number one, do you think?
Talk to people respectfully and be able to get in the door, because if you can't get in the door, then you're done.
The two are en route to a job that will put Nat's fear of horses to the ultimate test. They need to assess a field full of them that may have been abandoned.
Even at a rough guess, we're looking at, what, 30 plus. We can't assess their condition from here. There is a potential for health and safety risks in terms of some sort of herd mentality setting in. So we'll go on, but we'll just be careful and be aware.
The last 2 years have seen a spike in abandoned horses. Prosecutions are up 25%.
So how many do you reckon, looking at that?
It's hard to tell from the distance.
Yeah.
Nat must overcome her phobia so she and Rob can get close enough to inspect the animals.
Out of my comfort zone, I won't lie, but sort of you have to try and be confident with them because horses do sense those sorts of things in people. So yeah, hopefully it'll be fine. As long as you give them their space and you're respectful of them, then hopefully it should go well. If not, you will soon be running that way.
This is Nat's first test to prove she has the resolve for the job.
OK, so just nice and steady, as there's a lot of them.
Failure now could mean being asked to leave the course.
I'm noticing one of the bigger ones clocked us. I'm looking at that tree and I'm like, I can run there. I can climb up that tree.
If we walk sort of around anti-clockwise way and just have a sort of glance behind, obviously don't get too near the backs of them.
No.
The closer they get, the more curious the horses become.
Got one or two coming to say hello, so just be aware.
But Nat's determined to stand her ground.
Hello, you're quite confident, aren't you? See the little whiskers here?
Yeah. I'm feeling better the longer I'm in here. It's sort of a case of just desensitising myself almost and just getting over it.
While most of the horses appear in reasonable condition,
all of these ones over here look OK.
There are a few causing Rob some concern.
That one's a little bit angular, isn't he? What do you think of this one?
I would say he looks a bit underweight.
One in particular seems in a very bad way.
He looks quite poor. You can just see everything's angular.
Yeah.
Hips are sticking out, backbone's prominent.
And also faeces everywhere.
That's not looking good. He's going to go downhill pretty quick.
Rob believes that some of the horses need urgent medical help, so he calls up a local vet.
I'm in a field with about 25 horses. There's at least 2 that are really poor, and I've got a couple of others that I'm just a bit not sure of and would like an opinion. Is there any chance at all you might be able to come out? So the vet's on his way. There's a possibility that several of these horses may have to come out, but I'm afraid it does mean we're probably in for a late night.
At the RSPCA's headquarters, 25 hopefuls have embarked on the hardest year of their lives.
Even though there might be tough times, you've done so well to get here. Hold on to that thought.
A grueling program of exams, assessments, and physical tests. If they pass, they become inspectors. If they fail, they'll be sent home. for one of their make-or-break challenges. They've been sent to Hawley Fire Station for a working at height assessment. An inspector must be competent and confident reaching animals in need of help, even if they're stuck up a treetop, a rooftop, or a cliff top.
Straight down from where you are, Danielle.
If they're to make the grade, the trainees must prove they have a head for heights.
Even if you have a fear of heights, you have to be able to show that you can deal with that when the time comes. You're working in the outdoors, quite often in quite challenging conditions, so there's a huge range of different skills that we will be looking at. If someone is unable to demonstrate those skills, then unfortunately they wouldn't be able to proceed.
To survive the cut, each student must reach the top of this. It's a 40-foot climb, reaching up to the 4th floor of the training tower.
We don't have to go up the whole way up that way. Oh my God. It's just quite steep, isn't it?
Making it to the top is a big ask, especially if you've never set foot on a ladder before.
I've never been up a ladder, so maybe I'll get up there and be like, oh my God. I've been up high buildings and I've climbed up mountains, but I've never climbed up a ladder. Come on.
Until just a few months ago, 31-year-old Jess was working as a laboratory assistant in a Manchester hospital. She's always loved animals and wanted to help them, even when she was supposed to be away on holiday.
When we were in Thailand, we volunteered at like a dog rescue sanctuary, and just seeing how the animals were treated, that's when I decided, okay, so I'm going to come back to England and work with animal welfare.
For Jess, her ultimate goal is to join one of the charity's international teams.
All the harnesses have been laid out. There's 4 sets here.
But having abandoned her successful medical career, Jess is risking it all to follow her dream.
Coming on the training course, it's been a really, really big change. I'm definitely worried about not passing the assessments. If you don't pass, then unfortunately you're off the course, so there is that pressure.
If you can pull that up to your waist. Perfect. So that's going to be your safety system. Should anything happen to you, we're going to be able to catch you.
While Jess waits her turn,
focus on the task in hand, yeah? One step at a time.
The rest of the group take on the tower.
Oh my God, this is not nice.
Try not to get too close to the ladder, because you'll find it hard for yourself.
Oh.
Keep it going. Climb in. Excellent. Good.
Perfect. Hey, check you out.
It's a test of everyone's nerves.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm shaking a bit, but I'm all right. Oh, God.
But one by one, the others make it to the top.
Perfect. Okay, deep breath.
Oh, God.
Well done, you.
Finally, it's Jess's turn to attempt to reach the summit.
Don't rush it, and all you're doing is foot, hand, foot, hand. If you can focus on that.
I don't also have coordination.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. No. Okay, happy? Yeah. So climb and ready. Good. Good. That's it. Perfect.
When you're at the bottom, you're just kind of concentrating on getting to the top.
Steady your weight.
It's quite scary being that high up. I mean, to be honest, the ladders didn't look that safe. They looked quite rickety.
As you'll notice, the ladder gets a bit smaller as you go up.
For some reason, I decided to look over the edge, and then I was like, oh, shouldn't have done that.
Good. Good. That was excellent for Jess's first time up a ladder and going to that height. Yeah, really good.
I shouldn't have looked down, but I did. And sitting on the windowsill is pretty scary, but I did it.
In scaling these new heights, Jess and the rest of the trainees have all passed the test.
Beautiful. I can say I've done it now, and then, you know, if we do get a rescue for a pigeon or a cat or something up a tree, then I can say I'm ladder qualified.
Have I got everybody? Get your hat on, Becky. There's definitely a space for a Becky.
Just load of blue helmets.
Today is about building confidence. It's a great feeling to be able to do something that you were nervous about doing and achieve that. And the way that everybody's looked after each other as well is good to see, that people are starting to work very much as a team.
But for the trainees, there's no let-up. There's always another test just around the corner. And for Jess, a candidate with little to no experience of working with animals, that means proving she's got what it takes to become a successful inspector.
Do they need shelter from the cold?
Yes, they do need shelter.
So she's been sent to Bedfordshire to be assessed by tutor Rachel Smith as the pair work on real-life cases.
Any signs of pain, injury, disease or suffering?
No.
Any signs of fear or distress?
No.
Do they have the right environment to be chickens?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Rachel graduated from animal rescue school 7 years ago.
Right, if I'm driving, move the van keys.
Inspectors usually work alone, so having company is a bit of a novelty.
Why do I feel like really upright?
Because I put it really up.
This is the problem when you let someone really short drive your van. They interfere with your driving seat. Oh, I feel like somebody's been through my neck control.
The pair have just received a call about a confused cat that's wandered into someone's home and seems in a bad way.
It's emaciated, it's a stray cat, it's in a bit of a stain, it's got a growth under one of its eyes.
Okay.
So it definitely needs looking at.
Yep.
The charity rescues over 30,000 cats each year. A Good Samaritan has been looking after this one, but it's up to Rachel and Jess to decide what to do next.
Hello, RSPCA.
Yeah, he's round in this bit.
Brilliant. He is really skinny, isn't he? And he's eating the food that you've given him?
It's wolfed down 2 full packets, yeah, and a bowl of water there.
Okay, so he's had quite a bit. I wonder if maybe he's just an old cat and he's just got a little bit disorientated, which is quite common, I think, when they're a little bit elderly. Do you want to check for a microchip? So press the big red button and then literally just run it over his back. Yep, all the way around.
Hello.
Do all down the fronts, like down here. No, so there's no microchip or anything found.
With no way of tracing the owner and nowhere else for the cat to go, Rachel decides the best plan is to take it to a vet.
We'll get him checked out and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for giving us a call. Okay.
But first, in an effort to track down its owner, they put up missing posters around the neighbourhood.
And the vets are chocker with appointments, but they have said that if we go, then we can just sit and then hopefully they will squeeze us in. So fingers crossed they'll get us in sooner rather than later. But it does mean for the next hour, we'll be inside where it's warm. Yes!
While Jess and Rachel head off for some creature comforts, trainee Nat and her tutor Rob are still stuck outside, dealing with a case of possible neglect.
That's not looking good. He's going to go downhill pretty quick.
Yeah.
They've called in vet Joe Sharps to assess a field of horses that appear to have been abandoned.
Got 25 ponies-ish. Natalie and I have identified at least 2 that we think are really poor.
It doesn't take Joe long to work out those most in need of his attention.
We need to see if we can catch those 2.
Yeah.
So I can put my hands on them.
OK.
Both looking extremely thin and quite weak. So
OK.
First action, if we can try to get them caught, get some head collars,
get collar,
see if we
them.
can catch them so I can perform a proper clinical exam on them.
Joe needs Nat's help restraining the horse, but she'll need to battle her deep-rooted fear and show she's up to the job.
These sort of horses have never really been handled, so we just need to be really calm, quiet. Once they get wound up, it's really difficult to calm them down again.
While Joe begins his examination, Nat needs to try and keep the horse and herself calm.
We've got fecal staining.
I think she's doing really well, actually. I think she is getting more relaxed the longer we've been here. I'm watching her now. She's actually standing there and having a little moment with the horse there. So, yeah, I think we're making progress.
Aren't you being good?
Nat's clearly impressed Rob, but the news on the horse isn't so positive.
The mare, who's got a foal suckling at the minute. She's in an emaciated body condition score. She's very thin. You can feel her backbone and you can feel all her ribs. Certainly, at the moment, it's my opinion that she is suffering because of her condition.
Unfortunately, this isn't the only horse that Joe decides needs to be removed, so a team of handlers is called in to help. 3 others he examined also require medical attention. One in particular is in a critical condition.
The vet has scored her 0 out of 5, which is about as low as you can get and still be on your feet, really. So clearly it's suffering and it can't stay here. She's fit to travel, so we'll get her away and hopefully, again, we can make some improvement. All we can do is do our best with them. At least she'll have somewhere nice and warm to go tonight.
Under the Animal Welfare Act, once a vet has certified an animal suffering, only the police have the power to seize it. And with the clock ticking, Rob's been assured they're on their way.
Just racing against the clock now, trying to get this done before it gets dark, because it all becomes incredibly difficult then. I don't particularly want to be wandering around a field with 25 ponies in the dark.
No.
25 candidates have begun an intense year-long course in the hope of graduating as RSPCA inspectors. The group are gathering at a local pool, ready to face a straight pass-or-fail energy-sapping swim test led by Superintendent Matt Goff.
Lucy. It's an important day for the trainees. It is literally pass or fail, and if they can't meet the standard here, then they go home.
Water can present a real danger for animals and those rescuing them. So being a strong swimmer and confident around water is a key part of the job description.
It's crucial that an inspector is able to swim. You're working near water in so many different circumstances, so being able to get yourself out of the water is absolutely vital.
The students are being challenged to swim 50 metres in under 2.5 minutes, made even tougher by being fully clothed. It's not the news trainee Becky wants to hear.
Today I'm feeling nervous because although I can swim, I'm not a water baby, because in my opinion humans shouldn't be in water.
So please. Good boy.
31-year-old Becky from Yorkshire has quit her job as an archaeologist to take her place on the course.
I'm 99.9% sure that I made the right decision giving up archaeology and coming to do this. It's worth the hell to get through training school, to know that at the end of the day, you've got a really cool job. You get to see all these animals and hopefully if you make a huge difference to them.
This passionate dog lover knows how much of a risk she's taken to turn her dream of becoming an inspector into a reality.
My working history with animals is absolutely zero. I'm not used to not knowing what I'm talking about, and I'm not used to struggling with stuff. It's a very big thing to know that there's only one shot at it. There is a realisation of how much pressure there is on you to make sure you're constantly performing. It's got to be cutthroat because you've got to know what you're doing, so it's damned hard work.
At the pool, Becky thinks she's got a trick up her sleeve to help her beat the clock and avoid failing the test.
So we have to wear our boiler suits, but they haven't specified how. So we think that rolling our trouser legs up and our arms up, that will be a bit more streamlined.
Becky might think she's found a loophole in the rules, but nothing gets past eagle-eyed Matt.
Let's keep the sleeves down as if you were wearing long sleeves, because you could go in the water in a jacket or something similar to that. OK? Right. Are you both ready? Yeah. Go. Brilliant. You were well in there. You're 118. Go.
They may not be winning any prizes for style,
Come on now. Hand on the end. Brilliant. Joanne and Lucy.
But the swimmers are making the distance in the required time.
Brilliant. Nearly there. You were in. You were on 2:12.
With everyone having passed so far,
right, Natalie and Rebecca.
Becky's under extra pressure to succeed.
I just don't like swimming. I don't like water.
3, 2, 1, go.
I was that kid that, oh no, I've forgotten my swimming costume, or oh no, I've hurt my leg. I quite often faked verrucas. I'm just not a fan of water.
Brilliant. Good work. And Becky, you're 151. Okay, so well in. Really well done, everyone. Everybody passed. You all got 30. You've all done it.
It's absolutely killed me.
It's a very physical job, and you've got to be able to prove you can do all sorts of things. They're looking for people to work on the flood team. They're looking for people to work on the water rescue team. So I can understand why they do it. I was convinced I wasn't going to pass. I did, but it was literally my worst nightmare.
Are you okay, mate? Just want some water?
Yeah, no, fine. Just a bit dizzy, I think.
Take a minute.
Becky and all the trainees have survived the cut this time. But there are plenty more tests to come. Next up for Becky is a spell out on the road working alongside a tutor.
I've got my eye on a Ford Ranger, so I like to have a good look at it.
She's been sent to her home county of Yorkshire, working the beat with Animal Collection Officer John Greaves. Their first job of the day is to see if they can help a tawny owl that's been found injured by the side of the road.
Do we know what's happened to the owl, why it's... Because obviously if a member of the public's caught it, then it's not.
No, the fact that it's sat on the floor.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling it's been clipped by a car.
They've come to a local vet's where the owl is currently being looked after.
Yeah, we've come for your owl.
He was doing really well before. We did crop feed him and he took it really well, so he's had about 4 meals of food. Wings seem to be okay, but we haven't had an x-ray or anything like that. He seems in relatively
He's in good condition.
Yeah.
Now, she does look unresponsive.
She should be following your finger in.
But tawnies do this. They're one of the species that pretend to be dead.
Right.
I've noticed he's got a few raised knuckles, which is evident it could have been clipped.
John wants to take the owl to a specialist for a second opinion. So Becky's first challenge is to help get the owl safely into the box, ready for the journey.
It's getting a bit louder now. So do you want to put him in the box?
Yep.
All right. Just keep him just in case he decides to try and take off.
It's my first time picking up an owl. So I was expecting as soon as John got hold of him for the wings to flap and everything, but actually it was a lot calmer and a lot easier. But it makes identifying what's wrong with him quite hard, because you don't know whether he's concussed or whether he's just, like, scared and playing concussed.
So what I'll do is just put that over the top of him. And it's to do with anything to do with shock, the best thing is to get it quiet, get it dark.
Yep.
Yeah, and that'll counteract any sort of shock and get him warm.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping him warm.
Yep.
Okay. Take care.
John decides to let Becky take the lead when they get to the centre, run by Choreoraptor Care.
Don't get too cocky.
Yeah.
Because it's when the least expect it, when it all goes wrong.
Yeah.
The charity's manager, Nick Henderson, has been rehabilitating sick and injured birds for over 30 years.
So this is my first time at getting an owl out of a box, so we'll see how this goes.
Just watch your fingers.
Becky's keen to get to grips with her first owl. Unfortunately, the feeling's mutual.
Even that's got your finger now, yeah?
It's got it already.
Yeah.
Go on then, give us a tip.
Okay, don't worry.
How do I get my glove back?
No, you've done everything perfectly well. That is exactly it. Just peel the talons back.
All right.
Very slowly. The main thing is you don't get nailed. You okay?
There we go.
There we go, lovely. Right, should we have a quick look at it?
Yeah.
See the head movement's all right. Oh, just a slight bang on the wing there, but like you say, there's nothing serious. It just needs a bit of TLC.
Nick will monitor the owl until the bird gets his strength back and is ready to be released into the wild.
He's beautiful.
Yeah. Tonight I'll get some food into him. I've got some mice ready.
Really pleased with that. Really lucky that Nick's here. Once I get working, you've got to build up relationships with people like Nick. I mean, his expertise is invaluable, so hopefully he'll have it back and fly in and out within the week.
In Surrey.
Do you want a blanket?
A little bit.
Horses give off a lot of heat, so stand a bit nearer. Be brave.
Nat and tutor Rob have been in this field for 8 hours now, coordinating the removal of 4 sick horses.
So it's just a lot of hanging around for you at the moment, I'm sorry. But on the other hand, you are getting used to being near a horse and making friends.
Yeah. Previously, at the end of the day at 5 o'clock, my job list is done. Whereas as an inspector, you're going to be getting jobs coming in at all hours for your patch. So, yeah, unfortunately, the work never ends.
Welcome to the world of rescue cases.
Wonderful.
Thankfully, the police arrive, ready to seize the animals. And Rob and Nat can finally begin to move the horses. They're being taken to stables nearby to receive the medical attention they so badly need.
So we're loading the weakest first, which is the mum over here with the foal. The worry with that horse is that they can just suddenly go down, and then once they're down, it's so hard to get them back up again.
It's been challenging, but this has been a successful rescue for Nat as well as the horses.
In terms of my learning, my development, this is the best, worst situation we could come across because it is my weakness that I don't know my equines and I'm not necessarily as comfortable with them. But yeah, it's just been a really good learning day for me, definitely.
So our last job before we leave is to put some paperwork on the gate and then we can be on the way.
Lovely.
And I can have something to eat.
I'm sort of a throw yourself in the deep end kind of person, so I just crack on with it, really. Like, there's a job to do. But I can't be the person that's sat hiding in their van. You need to get the job done. I think I'm feeling more confident now I've been out dealing with horses more. It's reminded me that they're not all going to try and kill you.
High five.
I can't put my hands in more.
No, nice.
They may have only been out on the road for barely a fortnight, but the trainee inspectors are already getting a taste for the road.
Do you know, I am so hungry. I've had breakfast already.
Long hours spent in the van.
There's a little bakery down here.
You know all the weird little places.
You do, you get to know them.
Going from job to job leaves little time for the bare necessities.
You also get to know where all the public toilets are as well.
I think I know where a lot of them when Brian are
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
I forgot my spoon.
I really want to eat my pasta.
Eat it then.
So talk me through what you're doing right now.
I'm pouring whole grain muesli and chia seeds into my yogurt. Why? What's that? Is that yogurt? Can't be your thing, was it? I can't have a white stain there. Have you got any wipes?
Like all the group, former archaeologist Becky is out doing what she's signed up for, helping improve the lives of animals. But this passionate dog owner is about to learn there's not always a happy ending. Becky's been called on to investigate the case of a dead dog found hidden in a pile of rubbish. It's a case that even the most hardened of inspectors would find deeply distressing.
We've got a dog that's been picked up from fly tip site in West Yorkshire. Apparently it's been stabbed in the back of the head. But this is my first dead extreme cruelty, so I'm not looking forward to this at all, to be honest. And it's a dog, and that's the worst thing it could be for me, so to wait and see.
The team needs to find out what's happened to the dog. and if there are any clues that will help bring the perpetrators to justice.
You can see his legs tied up in his collar. And when he was found, both of his legs were up through there. It's in good health otherwise, but he's just got a wound to the back of his head.
I think seeing a dead animal and seeing an animal that's been killed are two completely different things.
You okay? Yep. Yeah. Yep.
I thought I was quite tough. They tell you in inspector school that it's going to be hard. They'll tell you that you'll see some horrible stuff. But I had not seen a dog that somebody had stabbed in the back of the head. I was under no illusion that this course was going to be hard, but this has been, first to admit it, this has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
We found them in suitcases in parks and in rivers, in canals, so again, this is another not very nice part of the job.
I think you've just got to accept that, not accept that it goes on, but accept it for what it is. It is a horrendous piece of cruelty, and your job is to find the person responsible.
Hopefully, with a lot of inquiries and press releases, we'll be able to get, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed somebody recognises him and we can get some justice for him.
That's the first time anything's made me like sick to my stomach. He's in good nick, and then somebody's done that to him. It's horrific. No. That's the first time on this training course that I've been like knocked for 6.
That first period out in the group, I think, can be very emotional. That level of resilience that's required becomes very apparent. There have been students that have dropped out after the first period out in the group. Things can become very, very real quite quickly. You have to be tough.
Well done, Laura. Right, what can I do?
2 weeks shadowing tutors, and the students are discovering that becoming an inspector will push them emotionally.
Hi! Hello!
But for this group of animal lovers, the rewards of the job are also clear to see. Becky's injured owl has been nursed back to health and is now ready to be set free.
Working as an RSPCA inspector has been quite hard, and I've seen some quite horrible things and people that don't treat their animals the best. So to have a nice evening like this where we're getting to release an owl back that we've managed to rehabilitate is kind of the perks of the job. Stunning. Lovely to see him fly off. It's a bit persuasion to get out of the box, but it was gone. He was obviously ready to go. So really good to see. It's nice to see getting wild animals back in the wild and back out where we should be.
If you noticed, he orientated himself, so he knew exactly where he was going.
Yeah. Moments like that make the job all worth it. That is a real perk to spend your evening releasing tawny owls.
I hope the students enjoy everything about being out there, because it is wonderful. It's the best job. It's great when they come back and you can see a real spark there. I think the students will feel buzzing, actually. Yeah, that they've gone out there and they've made a difference to a lot of animals.
It's really good to be out with the tutors because you actually get a feel for what the job is.
Good girl. One of those things that I love about this job is every day brings something new, and for me, like, that's brilliant.
Will you take him to the vets then?
Yeah.
I just can't wait. Just can't wait to be a proper inspector.
With the course having only just begun, the students will still have a lot to prove if they're to be offered an inspector's job.
Told you it'd be all right with one less leg.
The trainees will need to get more hands-on when out working real cases.
Go for it, nice one, nice one.
All 4 vehicles are made off, and 3 have legged it down the railway line.
And they must hit the books.
During this week, we're going to be looking at legislation involving wildlife.
And prepare for a wave of legal exams and practical assessments.
And this is going to be more complicated.
Where failure's not an option.
I'm starting to feel like I'm a bit behind with everything. I do feel under a lot of pressure.
OK, we start the exam.